All right, so I should have done an unboxing video from the beginning, but I was so excited and I got distracted because I was out back digging my septic tank out, which is fun. So I'm sweating a bit and huffing. But I got the downpipe unwrapped from this DocRace kit. Looks pretty nice. Looks like it might be China made. Not that that's necessarily bad, but like this bellows, for example, doesn't have an insert on the inside. It's just the bellows on the other side too. Which that style is known for not being very durable, but I'm not going to pass judgment on this kit because I've never even used it. So this one might be a good construction, might be a good quality joint or not, but often there's an issue with those. Also, if you look at this downpipe length, it's significantly longer than the factory one, because in the factory position, the turbo sits right here. It comes up and sits like right there-ish. But this is a top mount turbo, so it's way the hell up here. Well, that's not a good sign. I'm speechless because this is so fucking tiny. There's like no surface area on this thing. I can't imagine that it's not a huge restriction, especially when you think about it being this close to the front of the compressor wheel. I don't like that. I'm actually pretty upset about that right now because that makes me think that the turbo, the front of the turbo is too close to the front of the car to put a real filter on. And then which means it's probably also too close to the front of the car to even put a pipe on to bend it and relocate a turbo filter somewhere else. I'm hoping that's not the case because that's not cool. I don't like that. I mean, I'm glad that he included it. It's very nice of him. I don't like the size of this fucking filter. Again, I haven't used it yet though, so I don't know what kind of restriction we're talking, but if I can get a good dyno, a hub dyno or something, or sticky roller dyno, I will definitely do polls with this on and this off and see what kind of horsepower loss we're getting with something this small. I have been surprised by filters in the past. I had a really small filter on my RS many years ago. I did like 572 wheel with a small filter on it. No, it was 566. Took the filter off and it was like 572. I only picked like 6 or 7 horsepower or something really small with the filter, and I was really blown away because the filter was pretty small. Not quite this small, but small. Obviously, it's a big circle, so I have some surface area there, but not a lot. So that worries me. I'm hoping that this is just what's included in the kit. There's actually room for something else. Well, we'll find out. All right. Okay. So again, I appreciate him giving me that. This might just be talking and hold the yeah. So just the last piece here, which is the header. I do want to say too that I ordered this from him yesterday and it's here today, so I don't know where he's at. We're mostly close. He did say, however, that it was not going to be a coated kit, and he didn't specify why that was going to be the case. He asked if I was okay with that, and he said otherwise it'd be like a week or so before he can get it out. And I said, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. And then he sent me an email today to ask my question, and I got a we're out of the office until October something response. So now I know why it wasn't going to be coated, because, or not going to be shipped till next week, because he was leaving. So I'm appreciative of him being very fast and shipping me this this header. I appreciate that a lot, and that speaks volumes. The only other person I know that's usually that responsive with shipping is Clint Bogus from Turn In Concepts. That dude will stay up all night and go to the post office at 3 in the morning to drop off people's packages, and that's respectful too. All right, nice motion sit camera angle here as I try to unwrap this with my hand. There we go. Let's get that off there. Okay. Holy shit, she's a tank. Okay, so first thing I noticed, this thing is heavy. Holy shit, that is heavy. I'm fine with that, because that means it's going to be thermally stable and less likely to crack and that kind of stuff. Now, I was looking at pictures of it, And I had hoped it was relatively equal length. Obviously, it can only be so equal if the turbo is located so far forward. So I got a long runner here coming into here. And that's about as short as they could do it there. So that's the longest runner. The shortest runner looks like this one here. That looks the shortest. These other ones here come up. Oh, wow, that's a weird one. I'm not a fan of that runner. Not a huge fan of those two runners right there. That is our weird shaped runner inside. I get it, it's a casting. There's only so much you can do, but that is really weird. It goes up. Okay, well, that is what it is. Nothing I can do with that. And it has a swoop to it, but it also bleeds off in the middle. So this one here doesn't really have a runner length to it. It ties into the one next to it that far into the header right here. Yeah, I see my finger on the other side if you look. And then it swoops around kind of together. Right here, you see how they have these, this bend and this bend. So this is on the outside. At high airflows, the inertia from all the exhaust gas leaving the cylinder is definitely going to push it towards the outside edge. So it's nice that it's tapered like that, or smooth like this. Same for this one. It's going to push it to the outside, which means it's probably going to trip over the divider between these two as it's leaving the that cylinder there. Yeah, so it's going to stack up a bit on this outer wall right here. This cylinder here, this middle cylinder, it's going to come out a bit, stack up here on this outer lip and area. Hopefully, though, it's far enough from everything else that doesn't make that cylinder any higher pressure. And I don't think it will, because actually this runner down inside here ties into the one next to it really close too. So it's a really interesting design in here, how we got this bank. This bank is kind of funky. This bank has got some funkiness to it too, but like I said, it's pretty cool. I can see the high airflow, the inertia from the exhaust gas, which you think about it is exhaust gas, but it's all the mass from the fuel and all the mass from the air leaving the engine. So it's not like it's has no weight, you know what I mean? It's got inertia, it's got mass. It's going to have a tendency to move towards the outside of a turn and all that. So in that regard, looking at it here, I do wish it was coated now, but I can do that. That's not a big deal. I will have that coated. No biggie. There's a local place I'll have do it. Wow, that thing is a fucking beefcake and a half. Okay. We have studs in here. Well, that's kind of a fuck deal. No studs? I love his video, all his pictures show studs and headers. But there's no hardware at all. Nothing. Okay. So I got an uncoated one for the cost of a coated one, and not even get like a little hardware or anything. I don't sound entitled, but that kind of sucks. You know, like I said, I appreciate him getting stuff out in time, so I'm not gonna bitch about his shipping time and stuff, but I don't know. Coating's not cheap. You know, it's $100 and something to coat one of those things. So I think maybe $100 and something in hardware might be nice, or even just a couple bolts or some studs or whatever that thing. I don't even know what that fucking thread pitch is. There's no documentation to tell me what that thread pitch is, so I just got to go start plugging shit in and finding out. So that's kind of shitty. That part's kind of shitty, I will say. A lot of packing. It was packed very good. I think something's beefy. It's packed really well. Let's look at this downpipe one more time. I got shit everywhere now. Oh, what am I saying now? I had shit everywhere before. Two bongs. Yeah, there's no hardware in there. All right, well, that is the unboxing of the DocRace kit. This is for a B58 It is the twin scroll header, which it's a T4. He does it for the EFRs and the Precisions. You can get the Precisions in a T4 housing, and technically you can get the Garretts in a T4 housing as well. I don't know if the division is faced the right way. I need to look into that personally. But this is supposed to fit the EFR. EFR is pretty long. The Garrett would be shorter, and by being shorter might actually yield more room for a bigger filter. I don't know. I'll have to compare the flange location on the Garrett versus the EFR. And I also need a twin scroll for a Precision turbo. So I have Precision turbo as well that would go on this. Now, this doesn't have a wastegate on it, so there's no wastegates on here. For the wastegate ones, I believe he just drills a hole in the side and welds dumps onto it. He might have them cast separately, but I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure he welds them onto the side for the external wastegate version. So if I was to convert this to my G3510 or my G35-900, I would need to put wastegates on it. Or if I put the Precision on it, I gotta put wastegates on it. Unless I did like a air dump, you know, or something like that. But that's it. I don't have anything else to say about it. Right on. And someday it'll be in my car.